days in Amsterdam? No worries, we're about to squeeze every drop of magic out of this city. Iconic canals, crooked houses, must-see museums, plus hidden local gems you'd never find on your own. This fast-paced, insider-packed itinerary turns a quick trip into an unforgettable adventure. Smash that like button and subscribe for more epic travel guides. Day 1. Amsterdam's iconic sights and local flavor. Morning. The iconic Damrak Canal houses. Kick off the Amsterdam adventure at the Damrak Canal houses. This is the most recognizable row of buildings in the city, and they're a real visual treat. Notice those skinny, beautiful buildings? They have a charming, slightly crooked elegance, but a curious question arises. Why are they all so remarkably narrow? It's all thanks to the tax collector. Believe it or not, an old 17th century tax law charged property owners based purely on the width of their facade. This clever money-saving measure forced builders to construct these homes skyward. From the front, they look tiny, but many stretch far back with multiple floors inside. Learning that little historical detail makes these quirky shapes feel even more special. The early hours are the best time here. The still waters perfectly mirror the facades, setting up an amazing photo opportunity. Insider tip. The secret to capturing that classic Amsterdam shot? It's right from the small bridge across the water. That angle gives the full row perfectly framed by the water's reflection. Classic Amsterdam Canal Cruise. Once you've enjoyed the Damrak Canal houses, head straight to one of Amsterdam's most iconic experiences, a canal cruise. It's the easiest way to see the city's charming architecture, historic bridges, and daily life along the waterways, all without rushing around. There are countless operators throughout the center, offering everything from open boat tours with live guides to simple audio-guided cruises at lower prices. Most last about an hour and cover the city's prettiest canal loops. If you want to make it a little more fun, many boats offer optional extras like cheese tastings or drinks on board. Whatever you choose, booking ahead is a smart move during busy months. Insider tip. If you're using the iAmsterdam City card, it includes a complimentary canal cruise, making this the perfect moment to redeem it. Late morning, Dam Square. Time to head for the very heart of the city, Dam Square. This busy central hub is where everyone ends up at least once, and it's simply bursting with life. The atmosphere here is always energetic, with people crisscrossing the wide open plaza. There are usually street performers drawing a crowd, all set against a seriously dramatic backdrop of historic buildings. A brief look around reveals some major landmarks. The magnificent Royal Palace dominates one side, balanced by the towering National Monument on the other. This is an essential stop, perfectly showing how the old, grand history of Amsterdam blends so naturally with its modern, bustling life. Royal Palace of Amsterdam. Right beside Dam Square, you'll reach the Royal Palace, a landmark that looks impressive from outside, but becomes even more interesting once you step in. Built in the 1600s, this wasn't always a palace. It first served as Amsterdam's town hall before becoming a working royal venue used for important events today. Prepare for an immediate change in mood inside. Large halls, elaborate sculptures, and stunning historical artwork fill every chamber, offering a vivid sense of Amsterdam's golden age power. The audio guide keeps everything easy to follow, and about an hour is the perfect duration to see all the highlights at a comfortable pace. The entrance tickets are around $15, which offers fantastic value for the history you get to explore. Insider tip. The palace occasionally closes for royal receptions, so checking the schedule before visiting is important. Booking ahead is also a smart move, especially in busier seasons or if you prefer an early, quieter time slot. Afternoon, Binnenhof. Prepare for a beautiful shift in atmosphere. Binnenhof is one of Amsterdam's oldest inner courtyards, carefully tucked away right behind the busy city streets. Walking inside brings an immediate sense of calm, surrounded by historic houses and a peaceful lawn. This courtyard was initially home to the Begina, a dedicated community of lay religious women who lived here starting in the 14th century. Two highlights that stand out as you explore are Het Houten House, which is one of the oldest surviving wooden houses in the city, and the Engelskerk, English church, a simple but beautiful structure dating back to the 1400s. It's a powerful, quiet glimpse into the city's early history. Insider tip: Beheinhof remains a residential area, so keep noise low and avoiding photography facing private windows is important. It's a quiet stop meant to be enjoyed respectfully. Lunch at Fabelfreit. Time to refuel, and Fabelfreit is the perfect stop for a truly excellent lunch. This spot is famous for serving up some of the crispiest golden fries in all of Amsterdam. They are made from organic potatoes and topped with a fantastic selection of sauces. The winning combination everyone raves about is the Parmesan cheese paired with their creamy homemade truffle mayonnaise. A medium portion of those amazing fries is around $4, and adding that cheese topping is only about $1.20, making this an easy, budget-friendly meal. If you're still hungry, they also offer classics like croquettes, deep-fried sausages, and cheese soufflés. A Holtkamp beef croquette comes in at roughly $4.50, keeping everything simple and fast so you can get right back to exploring. Late afternoon, Bloemenmarkt. A floating flower market isn't something you see every day, and that's exactly why the Bloemenmarkt grabs your attention right away. Since 1862, this stretch of the single canal has been lined with stalls perched on floating barges, a tradition that began when fresh flowers arrived here by boat. As you walk along the market, you'll find all kinds of flowers, bulbs, and seeds, with tulips stealing most of the attention. If you're thinking about bringing bulbs home, look for the ones marked for export. Many stalls prepare travel-ready packs specifically for visitors heading beyond Europe. The bright colors, the canal right beside the path, and rows of old Amsterdam buildings make this a beautiful, quick stop for capturing photos. Albert Kuip Market. Time to trade the quiet canals for a completely different energy at De Pijp. The Albert Kuip Markt sits right at the center of all that buzz. This long, vibrant stretch has more than 250 stalls. It's a busy street filled with fresh produce, flowers, snacks, clothing, and everyday items. Named after the 17th century painter Albert Kuip, this market fits perfectly into the neighborhood's relaxed, slightly bohemian feel. People move at their own pace here, and the whole area has that easy, welcoming spirit often associated with Amsterdam's Latin Quarter. If you want a quick bite, this is the place to grab something classic. Vendors serve poffertjes, kibbeling, and herring right from the stall, along with plenty of other small snacks. Between the food stalls, you'll find vendors selling souvenirs, clothes, and small household items at simple, friendly prices. The market is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and closed on Sundays and most major holidays. Evening Heineken Experience. The Heineken Experience is one of those stops that instantly pulls you in. The entire venue is set inside the original 1867 brewery, and the whole place is designed to walk visitors through the brand's story in a way that feels completely fun and immersive, never formal. As the tour moves from room to room, the history unfolds quickly. Expect to see the old copper brewing kettles, learn exactly how the company first started, and follow clear, simple explanations of the brewing process. Many sections are highly interactive. This is not just looking at displays, but actually trying small activities that bring the beer-making process to life. There's even a short, playful ride-style segment that follows a bottle's journey from the brewery right to the shop. Adults complete their touring with a tasting session, while younger visitors typically enjoy the interactive rooms and creative visuals throughout the building. The standard visit takes around an hour and a half and costs about $25. For something extra special, a VIP ticket includes access to an exclusive bar area, a guided tasting for adults, and a small personalized souvenir. Insider tip: the iAmsterdam City Card includes a generous 25% discount for this attraction. Dinner in De Pijp. After a full day out in Amsterdam, De Pijp is exactly where you want to be for dinner. This neighborhood is packed with excellent restaurants and bars, offering plenty of options for the evening. If a casual dinner sounds perfect, Burger Bar is always a reliable pick. You can build your own burger, pile on your favorite toppings, and their fries are the kind you keep eating even when you're full. A full meal here usually runs about $15 to $25 per person. If the evening calls for something more elegant, Restaurant Zaza offers a sophisticated experience. This charming spot features a seasonal menu, blending international flavors with locally sourced ingredients. Expect a full dinner here to cost approximately $40 to $70 per person. I recommend booking ahead as they have few tables and reservations fill up fast. Day 2. Culture and Neighborhoods. Morning, Museumplein. Museumplein is a great place to begin your morning, especially if you want to see Amsterdam's most important museums without jumping around the city. The square brings the Rijksmuseum, Van Gogh Museum, and Gogh Museum together in one easy-to-navigate area, so you can walk straight from one highlight to the next. It's simple, convenient, and it sets you up for a smooth start to the day. Rijksmuseum. The Rijksmuseum brings together many of the biggest names in Dutch art. Rembrandt, Vermeer, Hauss. Their work fills the galleries here. Two pieces you'll definitely want to pause for are Rembrandt's The Night Watch and Vermeer's The Milkmaid, both major highlights of the museum. The collection spans about 800 years of Dutch history and includes more than 8,000 pieces, so there's plenty to see. If you can, setting aside 2 to 3 hours gives you a much better experience than rushing through. The museum is open daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and tickets cost around $23 with free entry for anyone under 18. Same-day tickets are sometimes available, but booking ahead is the safer choice. The iAmsterdam City Card also includes free admission. Van Gogh Museum. A short walk from the Rijksmuseum brings you to the Van Gogh Museum, home to the world's largest collection of Vincent van Gogh's work. Inside, you'll find more than 200 of his paintings, hundreds of drawings, and a large set of personal letters that show how his style changed over the years. Famous pieces like sunflowers and potato eaters and almond blossoms stand out right away. Because this museum's incredibly popular, tickets often sell out in advance. Admission is about $23 and tickets are available online only. Once inside, the layout guides you through his life and work in a clear, simple order, which makes the experience easy to follow even if you're short on time. Late morning, Gogh Museum. If you enjoy contemporary or modern art, the Gogh Museum is a great place to add to your morning. It's right next to the Van Gogh Museum and focuses on bold, modern pieces from artists like Banksy, Andy Warhol, and Salvador Dali. The exhibits change so often, there's always something interesting to see. The museum's small enough to explore comfortably without taking much time. Tickets are around $25. It's open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and the iAmsterdam City Card covers the entrance. Afternoon, brunch at Foodhallen. Foodhallen is a great stop after a full morning in Museumplein. It's inside a converted tram depot, and the whole space feels lively as soon as you walk in. More than 20 stalls line the hall, each serving something completely different. Pastries, sushi, barbecue, sandwiches, Dutch snacks, and plenty of international dishes. You can grab a couple of small portions and try a mix of flavors without committing to a plate. The shared tables in the center keep the atmosphere easy and social, and there are also bar stalls for adults who want to drink. It's an ideal break before heading into Amsterdam's neighborhoods for the rest of the afternoon. De Negenstraatjes. De Negenstraatjes is a great area to slow down a little and explore one of Amsterdam's most charming neighborhoods. These 9 narrow streets sit right in the historic Canal district and are packed with small boutiques, cozy cafes, and local shops that each have their own personality. It's a place that feels easy to wander without any fixed plan. As you move through the streets, you'll find everything from vintage pieces and handmade chocolates to designer items and small artisanal stores. The mix of canals, bridges, and shop fronts gives the area a very photogenic look, and it's one of the nicest spots to just walk, browse, and enjoy the atmosphere. If you want to take a short break, stop by one of the cafes. Pluk is a popular one in the area for something quick and refreshing before continuing the afternoon. Jordaan. Once you finish exploring De Negenstraatjes, you cross one of the canals and step right into Jordaan, where the streets immediately feel more local and relaxed. It's one of Amsterdam's most loved neighborhoods, and the mix of small studios, art galleries, and hip boutiques gives it a unique character that's easy to enjoy. One spot worth visiting here is the Houseboat Museum, which offers a look at what life was like inside one of the city's famous canal homes. It's a quick, interesting stop, and entrance is included with the Amsterdam City card. Insider tip: if you want a quick pause in Jordaan, try Le Petit Deli. It's a small French-inspired cafe, and their pastries are honestly some of the best you'll find in this area. Late afternoon, Anne Frank House. The Anne Frank House is one of the most meaningful stops of the entire trip, and even with only 2 days in Amsterdam, it deserves time in your itinerary. This is where Anne Frank, her family, and 4 others spent more than 2 years hiding during World War II. Walking through the narrow rooms of the secret annex gives you a direct, quiet look at the space where Anne wrote her diary. The museum keeps the rooms in their original state as much as possible, which makes the experience incredibly powerful. You'll see the small rooms they lived in, the covered windows, and the passages they moved through each day. The route also includes original documents and Anne's diary pages, which add even more context to the visit. Timed entry tickets must be booked online ahead of time, and they sell out quickly. Admission is about $18, and the museum's open daily from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Because the entry time is fixed, it's worth checking what's available before locking in the rest of your afternoon plans. Insider tip: new tickets are released every Tuesday for the next 6 weeks. If you check the site on that day, you'll have a much better chance of choosing the exact time slot you want. Evening, Dam Lookout. Dam Lookout adds a fun shift to the day, giving you wide views over Amsterdam from the top of a tower in Amsterdam Noord. Once you arrived, a fast elevator takes you straight up to the observation deck, where you can look over the historic center, the harbor, and the flat Dutch landscape that stretches far beyond the city. There's also Over the Edge, the swing that sends you out over the building. It's an optional add-on, but it's one of the more memorable ways to experience the height, if you're up for it. Entrance is around $16 when booked online, slightly higher when you're at the door, and the tower is open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. with final entry at 9 p.m. Insider tip: want a small trick to get here without spending anything extra? If you're using the GVB Pass or the Amsterdam City card, the ferry behind Central Station is fully covered. Just walk on and ride straight across to the lookout. Red Light District. For the last stop of the day, we move into the Red Light District, one of Amsterdam's busiest and most recognizable neighborhoods. It's known for its window brothels and adult entertainment, but the area also has some very old canals and buildings, which makes it an interesting mix to walk through in the evening. As you explore, you'll come across places like the Oude Kerk, Amsterdam's oldest church, as well as the Museum of Prostitution, which explains the history and structure of the profession in the city. If you prefer to explore some background information, you can book one of the guided walking tours available in the area. Several run in the evenings and cover topics like local laws, coffee shops, and how this district developed over time. You can also explore the area on your own. Just remember that photos or videos of sex workers are not allowed and come with a serious fine. Evening, dinner at Matahari. To wrap up the day, stop for dinner at Matahari, a cozy restaurant on the edge of the Red Light District. The atmosphere blends vintage charm with a relaxed, modern touch, creating a warm place to unwind after a full day in the city. The menu is short but thoughtfully prepared, with seasonal dishes made with care. Expect most mains to fall around $46, and a full dinner for 2 usually lands somewhere between $92 and $115. The weather's good, the outdoor tables along the canal are a great choice, with boats passing by as you eat. Useful info for spending 2 days in Amsterdam. Best time to visit. Amsterdam is at its best in spring and early summer when days stay mild, usually around 50 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit and 10 to 18 degrees Celsius, and tulip fields are in full bloom. June and July bring bigger crowds, while early fall keeps things calmer with similar temperatures. Winter settles in about 35 to 43 degrees Fahrenheit and 2 to 6 degrees Celsius and brings Christmas markets and a cozy feel if you're fine with colder days. City airport tips. If you're flying into Amsterdam, you'll land at Schiphol Airport, which connects easily to the city. The fastest way to reach the center is the direct train to Amsterdam Central, which takes about 20 minutes and costs around $6. Trains run often, and you can buy a ticket right at the station. Keep your luggage tag handy for quick checks as you exit. Where to stay in the city. For a short trip, staying near the center keeps everything easy. Jordaan offers cafes, quiet canals, and a local feel, with hotels costing around $180 to $300. Museumplein puts you closer to major museums, and rooms usually fall between $160 and $260. Areas around the Canal Belt gives you classic Amsterdam scenery, with hotels typically between $170 and $280. Choose the area that matches your pace. How to get around the city. Amsterdam is compact and public transport is very reliable. A 24-hour GVB pass costs about $10 and gives you unlimited travel on buses, trams, metro, and ferries, which is ideal for a short stay. Then, the iAmsterdam City Card costs around $100 for 48 hours and includes city transport along with free entry to many major museums and attractions. Cycling is popular, but the city can feel busy, so trams and walking are often the easiest way to move around. Where to eat? Amsterdam has great food options across the central neighborhoods. In Jordaan, Café Winkel 43 is a classic stop, especially for its warm Dutch apple pie, with most visits costing about $15 to $25. Die Pipe offers lively brunch spots, and Bakers and Roasters stands out with its banana nut French toast, usually around $15 to $20. For a dedicated plant-based choice, Meatless District serves creative vegan dishes like their Lion's Mane mushroom plate for about $10 to $14. And that brings your 2 days in Amsterdam to a close. From the iconic canals and world-class museums to the neighborhoods filled with local charm, you've covered an incredible amount in a short time. If this guide helped you map out your trip, make sure to like and subscribe for more itineraries just like it. And if you're ready for more adventures, the Paris video is right here to take you to your next destination.